Today we are joining board-certified elder law attorney Tim Crawford in a conversation with Samantha, who has some questions regarding powers of attorney. We invite you to listen to this discussion and learn from this interaction about what could occur in a typical free initial conference.
Tim, I'd like to ask you a couple questions about powers of attorney. How old would you recommend somebody be before they have a power of attorney?
Well, we think it's very important that anybody 18 or older have a power of attorney, because when they're under 18, their parents can make a decision for them. But at age 18, parents lose all authority to make decisions, and that's why it's important for them to appoint somebody to make decisions for them. So age 18 is the appropriate time for anyone and everyone to have a power of attorney.
Okay. My mom has filled out a power of attorney form at her bank. Will that help protect assets other than what's at that particular bank, or would I need an additional document?
Okay, she has a power of attorney at the bank. That's going to give someone who she appointed the authority to run things at the bank. Withdraw money from her savings account, also write checks on her checking account, put the person able to do that. But it's important that she have additional documentation, an additional power of attorney, because there's other places that she may have to do something. And if she's incompetent, she won't be able to do it. So it's important that she have a financial power of attorney prepared by an attorney at law to do that. It's so important to have a document that's much broader than just at the bank, because there's many things she has to do in the financial world that will need authority to sign for her.
So if I discover that she has a power of attorney that's just created by like our family attorney, is that enough to even help me through to the point where she dies?
Well, it'll help you pay her bills, cash out her investments to pay more bills, change her investments around, sell her real estate. It'll give you power to do all of that. That's a general power of attorney prepared by the typical lawyer. It will not give you any ability, though, when mom's incompetent and you want to reduce her net worth. You do not want to spend all of her money paying for nursing home care costs. The power of attorney that you would get from the internet or from the library or from a family attorney won't have the 5 pages of language that you need that will be in it so that your mother can have planning done by her agent. So you need a very specialized document to accomplish that. And we call that a level 3 planning type power of attorney.
Okay. I also have grandparents who are in their 80s. My grandfather is in the beginning stages of dementia, but the doctors state that he's still competent at this point. Is it too late to prepare a document for him?
No, that's very important that the doctor has said he's still competent. Because once he's incompetent, as declared by a judge, but usually it's based on what the doctor tells the judge, once the judge declares him incompetent, then he can't sign new documents, so he couldn't give authority. Then he would be forced to go through the court system at great cost and expense and get a guardianship set up. But I'm glad to hear that he's in the beginning stages of dementia. I wish he weren't, but it's better that he's in the beginning stages where he's still competent. And he could be competent for a number of years yet. But you don't want to take the chance that you say, well, I'll wait, I'll postpone this, I'll do it later. Because later it may be too late. You're thinking, oh, I got 4 or 5 years yet before he'll be incompetent because of his dementia. But he could have a stroke tomorrow. And then he would not be competent, possibly, and you would not be able to do these documents. And since they're so important to have, these are documents you do now. You don't wait. But I'm glad to hear that he's still competent enough to do good planning.
Okay. Now, with the document we've been discussing, help allow somebody to do health care decisions for him as well, or would I need an additional document?
No, the documents we're talking about so far deal strictly with finances. So yes, he would need an additional document, and that document is called a health care power of attorney. Now there, the state, when they passed the law, put a form into the form book, the legislative book, the law books of the state of Wisconsin that you can use. You can get it online. You can contact the Division of Health in Madison. You can get them free at any area hospital or nursing home, and we provide them free to our clients as well. And it's a form that takes 10 minutes to complete, And with that form completed and signed and witnessed, then that person will have somebody who has authority to make medical decisions for them. But don't be fooled. You don't get that authority immediately when the document is set up. That document is there for future use. So at a point in time when two medical people, say mom or dad or grandma or grandpa, are unable to communicate with the doctor, then for the first time that form gives to the agent they selected authority to make medical decisions for them. So it's very important, because without that, again, we have to go back into the court system, go into probate court, go into guardianship court, have a guardian appointed who could be a total stranger, knowing that your parents or grandparents would have picked. A total stranger being picked to be the person that makes medical decisions. And then they're limited as to what decisions they can make. They can't take out a feeding tube. They can't take off the respirator. And we've seen that in previous cases. You may remember a case out of Florida about 5 years ago where they had that problem. And it's sad just because they didn't have the right paperwork.
So if I were to start discussing planning and doing these types of documents with my mother or my grandparents, and I wanted to come in and talk with you further about this, would it be better if I came in on my own or if I brought them with me to an appointment?
And the quick, snappy answer is yes. It'd be good if they could come with you, but if they wouldn't, it's still good that you come in to find out how this all works. And eventually, they'll be the ones that will have to make the decisions. They'll be the ones that have to sign the form. But we work with many young people who have their own forms already, where we've done it for them, but they now know their parents need it. They know their grandparents need it. So we really encourage you to bring them into our office so that they can get the appropriate forms. Again, healthcare power of attorney, they can get anywhere. It takes 10 minutes to complete. But when they get to the financial power of attorney, you want to make sure they have one that'll be very useful.
All right, well, I'll direct them to your website at www.tpclaw.com, and we'll go from there and see if I can get them in to see you.
And also something else that you might want to do, we have a couple brochures here. One deals with medical decision making, so this has to do with the healthcare power of attorney. We give them something to read and think about and help you start the discussion.
Okay.
Because many times it's the children that start the discussion with the parents.
Right.
And they never be aware of it. They may just think that naturally the spouse can make the decision. So maybe they only think about it when they become a widow. But unfortunately, in Wisconsin, the spouse cannot make decisions for the other spouse. Not in the medical world or in the financial world. And we have another brochure that discusses that. And they're available free from our office, or they can even go to our website at www.tpclaw.com and download them at no charge. And also they can come in for a free consultation so we can talk about what their needs are, what their goals are, what should they be doing, what would be the cost of doing things. And then they can go home and think about it. Hopefully they don't procrastinate too long before it's too late for them to be able to do good planning.
Well, thank you for all of the information today, Tim.
Very good. We look forward to working with you and your parents and your grandparents. Thank you for coming in today, Samantha.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.